here to shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think, do all that stuff. Shake the codes, make us do all those things. Today was a day of starting off with shaking the system right away for me. Holy cow. Today I went to the hospital. I was supposed to be dealing with some stuff for my medical, all this stuff, because I'm going through some insanity with health. But it's okay, because you know what? I know the truth of this crazy insanity and this illusion, so we're not going to let it. But I had to stand my ground today. I had to do things differently. So I'm known to have crazy allergies to medicines, soaps, detergents, just I don't even know what they all are, to be honest, and I wish I did because sometimes I never know. It's always a gamble. I could end up having a reaction to this or not. So that's the problem I got, and especially since all this stuff ever since I came back into life and out of hospice. And I am known to have a medical service dog. She's amazing. She's so awesome. And the beautiful thing about a medical service dog is that they listen to you and they do their jobs and they do them quite well. And I listen and they do their jobs and they do them quite well. So I have one service dog, and the other one's my dog London, and he works for animals. That's how he does his stuff. But my medical service dog is not an emotional support dog. She's a service medical alert dog because I've got some things that she medically alerts me for. So the thing is, yesterday I talked to them, the intake nurse. I explained to them. I let her know I do have a lot of different allergies, by the way, but I'm actually not allergic to the iodine stuff, so that's at least that. But everything else I do have allergies towards, da da da. I explained to her, because they had put down that I have a wheelchair. Because on my stuff it shows that I'm supposed to be paralyzed from the neck down. But you know me, I break the system, break the molds, and I do things my own way. But I still have to get these things checked out because there's still the compression on my brainstem. I still have a broken neck. I still have messed up everything and yada yada yada. So you still got to pay attention to these things. So anyway, they let me know. They freak out. I show up with a service dog. I'm like, what? It's a hospital. What do you mean you're freaking out? It's a service dog. It's a medical alert dog. I'm not being without my dog. No, there's not a caretaker for the dog. It doesn't work that way. This is a medical alert working dog. I'm like, what happens is when I go into the machine, the dog stays into the change room or goes with the technician or even a doctor will take her around. I said, but that's how it goes. It's just how it's been. And I have had doctors actually take my dog around because they like my dog. So, I let her know it's a service dog. You don't have to worry. Dog will stay put. It's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to have it behind a locked door. It will stay. Well, now it's a big deal. And the time that they take arguing with me on all of this stuff, guys, they're literally, these are all nurses that are doing this with me and intake people, whatever. Didn't even get to the doctors. So I wish they did because they know what to do. So then, I'm like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, listen, I don't really care about this. You guys want this test. I don't care if I have it because I do medical my way, no matter what. So, you need to know, I'm wearing the proper clothing for me to have this MRI. I'm not chancing unless you can get me all the ingredients of your detergent. I don't know if I'm allergic to it or not. I have high sensitivities. That's why I dress this way so that you could do this and not have to worry. I said, I've been doing this for years. I've never had this problem ever. I said, I'm blown away right now. So I even videoed it. I said, I'm going to video this because I said, this is against the law what you're doing. I said, you're making a deal out of a service dog. And then you're making a deal out of you're trying to force me to wear something that I possibly could have an anaphylactic shock. And you're telling me you don't have an EpiPen for me and you want me to do this. And I'm saying I'm not willing to try with no EpiPen with me. I'm not saying I won't. If there was an EpiPen, I might be willing, but I don't know if I really want to go through that either. I said, it'd be much better if I could know the ingredients, then I could tell you whether I can put this on or not. And they didn't want to do it. So I just said, okay, you know what? I'm not dealing with this, and I'm not gonna be getting mad at you. I'm not gonna have you doing this to me and pressure me, but I'm gonna go because obviously no one's winning here. And then I just went to the front desk and I actually kind of was in tears a bit because I was like, what the heck? This is a crazy morning. I'm dealing with treatments and all this other stuff. And then the lady's like, are you serious? Did that just all happen? I said, it totally did. She goes, that should not have happened. Like, that's a medical thing. I said, I know. Don't even know what to think here. I said, you guys were ready to make all these ways for a crazy wheelchair and everything, but I said, wow. So anyways, I said, thanks. She told me I bet I need to contact their head offices and lawyers and all that stuff. So I'm going to do that. But I walked away and I was like, wow, know your place. Know your things. How's it going everywhere? Good to see you, Pink Palm, Scotty, Angel, and good to have you guys. And let's get to what we're talking about, because the reason I'm smiling is because this kind of stuff, I go, whatever, man, it's the system and I ain't playing that game. But grand risings, know your place, know who you are, stand in it. Don't let the system beat you up. And know that as you stand and be in your place, that things are going to work out for even better. So, grand rising to you all. Love you, soul family. Let's go deep today. You guys ready? Sorry for venting to y'all, but let's go beyond the roles, beyond the cycles, and these illusions, like what I had to deal with, the illusion trying to freak me out. And these illusions we've inherited, because here's the thing anyways. Guys, this is how much I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair paralyzed from the neck down. They were expecting me to show up with that wheelchair and everything, and they were getting prepared for that, and instead of a service dog. So, system, we're proving to them that I'm still breathing, I'm still alive, got a compression on the brainstem and everything. I could show you my MRIs and be like, holy crap. Anyways, so most people wake up, right, and they go right back to these things that we always are used to. We wake up and go right back to this, into these roles, into these things that we never chose. Even when we know and find out that we're an illusion and it's just this game. But we're going to get back, and we're going to go back into these patterns. And we'll even start to go back into patterns because it's the easiest thing, or because it looks like those are all the doorways that are opening up. But you have to understand, this is an illusion, so the system is going to go against you. And so it's not actually going to be easy when you're going to do the things that you're called to do to breaking yourself free. So let's unravel these codes. Let's return to the signal that was always yours. See, most people wake up and they walk right back into their roles, and they just go, let's do it, right? And then we slide into these loops. You know, like, what if I just slid into that loop and let the pressure in that hospital get me and go in and I possibly do all these things? Forget that. Let's do they repeat their yesterdays without even questions. We're doing that all the time. Get up, get our cup of coffee, and go at 5 o'clock and get out the door, and and they wonder why they feel like they're tired of being tired. But exhausted is often the symptom of misalignment and not laziness. I'm not saying you're being lazy, because I'm saying you're probably working really hard, but you're not doing what you're called to do. And I'm going to tell you something. When you go against the grind of it, I've done that now twice in a row. And yesterday I went against the grind and I end up sitting in this spot. And the next thing I know, I'm hang gliding and flying in the sky, doing something I could ever imagine doing, or even getting the option to do. And most people just wouldn't pay attention. They would ignore those other signals. And why? You see, every time we doubt ourselves, and doubt that little inner thing that's telling us to go try this other thing, and we just go to the pattern again. Every time we settle, you're laying bricks on a wall that was never really meant for you to exist. Why are you building someone else's kingdom anyway? You are not behind. You've just been chasing a frequency that does not belong to you. See, psychology starts to call it conditioning. Science will call it entertainment. Agnostics wisdom, they call this the prison of Demerge. And it is. You are in a prison system, and it is exhausting you. And your body is screaming out, your mind and your heart and your soul are screaming out, going, no, I don't want to do this. The false god form of fear and repetition, but your soul knows the truth. You're not your loops. You are a spark of the divine mind, infinite and free. The voice inside that suffers, the one that doubts. That's not your enemy. You know, that outdated survival program asking for a new directive. Really? That's what you're going to ask? And that voice that says, it's just fear. See, this morning, I was like, fear says to do what they say. just to find out, because, you could die. Fuck you. Forget your fear. I'm going to look at this as you don't get to have my test. I can walk when I'm told I'm not supposed to. Really? I'm going to listen to your ideas of what you think this illusion is supposed to play out. And the voice that says, that's just stand. But safe is not the same as free. Do you understand that? Do you understand that safe is not the same as free? That you don't have to figure it all out, that you can learn to let go and shift, and that most of all, that even this world will try to keep you in it by making it look like it's unfolding out for you. But all you gotta do is move a little bit of dirt, next thing you know is, holy cow, you entered Eden. So you don't have to figure it all out now. But let go. Shift. And most of all, learn to follow that subtle wind when it begins to shift your direction and saying, yo, don't do it. Body's screaming. My body screamed at me for the last several days, and to the point where, holy cow, my health was crashing in, and I was having a hard time breathing. I was having to use oxygen. And the moment I stood my ground and said, what the hell are you doing? I was breathing again. I don't know what my records look like because I didn't go in and get the test done because they pulled a bunch of attitudes. But do I really need to know, or do I just look in the mirror and go, I'm still standing and breathing, and I'm not in a coma, and I'm not dead, and I'm not in a wheelchair? So ask yourself, what version of you are you feeding right now? The one that needs that comfort and knowing and the securities, and the one that doubts, or the one who runs? Or the one who shrinks to fit into someone else's story and build their story, or the one who just remembers? Because you were never born to dream small. You were born to break out of this dang prison system and shift the entire illusion. You are a pattern breaker, you are an energy shifter, and you are a timeline jumper. And growth, it's not loud. It's not those invincible moments when you choose belief, even when nothing outside of you seems to even be validating that you're supposed to be doing this. But your body calms down, right? Because you said, yeah, I'm going to listen to my heart, my mind, and my body for once. I'm going to forget what this world materializes and tries to say that I need. See, the old you will whisper survival, but if you are not mindful, you will mistake survival for truth, and you will settle for life that was never designed for you. And remember, okay, remember, you were not made to live on autopilot. Like, what the fuck? You do not need to wait for some dramatic breakthrough, because you are the breakthrough. There is already a version of you already living in the existence of you, already whole, peace, clear, and that exists. It's true. The other day I felt like I finally grabbed that. And every act of healing, of choosing differently, of saying no more, brings you closer to that frequency. You're not here to be perfect. And you're not here to even frickin' prove yourself to anything or anybody. You're not your job. You're not your trauma or your past. You're not here to build someone else's life. Ready? You flip the squish. I wish you'd been on Facebook with the dolphins stunning. Man, what was stunning was the opportunity to get up there, guys. Like, I was in tears after all. You have the keys, guys. You've always had them. And it's time to unlock yourself. It's okay to want more. And it's okay to leave roles, cycles, and systems behind. And it's okay to follow the whisper that says this is not the end, because it's not. You are waking up not to escape life, but to embody it and remember it. And remember who you are and to reclaim your design, one brave moment at a time. So stop chasing the noise. Breathe. You're not broken. You're becoming. And the signal you've been waiting for has always been you. Always. On that note, guys, I gotta get going. I've been waiting for this phone call, so I want to get it. Make sure you remember you're valuable, and you are a unique puzzle piece, a part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. And do something towards your dreams every day. Peace and love. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.